Okay, so let us start. Okay. Hi everyone. Welcome to Tech Interview Preparation Session. Today we have Naman Singh and Rohit Arora with us. Naman is an upcoming SD intern at Curefit 2022, also an ACM ICPC regionalist in 2020, and also a Flipkart Grade 3.0 national finalist. Rohit is an incoming product intern at Sprinklr. He's also a co-member of Students Developers Club, Google. Yeah, so welcome Rohit and Naman.
Yeah, thank you, Priyash.
Yeah, so I'll start first. And उसके बाद नमन will share his journey, okay?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
मैं first of all मुझे तो कम बच्चे हैं तो आई थिंक कि डिस्कशन का जो वो है वे ज़्यादा बेटर रहेगा बट चलो पहले
Sorry, Rohit, you're not audible properly. Sorry. Rohit?
Okay, so just a second. I'll just say this. I guess a connection issue maybe. Just a second.
Yeah, sure. Is it good to go, Rohit? Okay, we will start with Naman. Naman, can we start?
Hello. Yeah, sure. So I guess there is a speaker problem with Rohit. So if you can just continue in a second. He'll just rejoin it.
Okay, no problem. So, Naman, can you please introduce yourself? Like I have introduced, but you can introduce yourself better. So,
Yeah, sure.
yeah. Over to you.
So yeah, as the Asha, so I Rohit.
Yeah, Rohit.
have you started now?
Yeah. So Naman is speaking. We can wait for your turn.
That's
Okay. Yeah, Naman, please continue.
Yeah. So I'm in upcoming SD Internet Curefit,
Okay.
and I also participated in ICPC last year, and we went till regionals. Also, I have participated in many national and international hackathons, and I personally believe that hackathons are a really good way to build great projects in very short period of time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll be talking more about my interview experience as well as how can you become part of some competitions such as the grid or any hackathon that is upcoming.
Yeah. Thank you, Naman. Yeah, that would be great. Rohit, can you please introduce yourself in a brief way?
I'm as supporting the first time to join this productive
Yeah,
and then some topics to that.
Rohit, your voice is
I'm
very
also
low.
part of-
Yeah, it's perfect now. Okay. Please continue. Sorry.
I'm also part of people hackathons.
Yeah.
I'll be mostly talking about the preparation and how
Okay. Yeah. Rohit, I think there's an internet issue from your side. I mean, your voice is very low. I don't know, is it for me or for everyone else?
Yes, there is a slight problem.
Okay, okay. Raghav, can you please mute yourself? Yeah. Okay. So like Naman and Rohit, both of you, like when did you start programming? Like in first year or in school only?
Okay. So, like I primarily started in first year itself. Like I started with basic data acceptance and workflow,
Okay.
completed programming stuff.
Yeah.
So, like my first year revolved around the offline college, obviously, since it was offline then, and like the basic DSA, not very high or anything.
Okay.
So, after first year, I shifted to development, particularly web development.
Okay. So like
So
front end,
in
back
second
end.
year, I explored more. Yeah, so okay, so I started with the backend particularly earlier, and then later on I shifted to front end since I found backend to be slightly more interesting.
Okay.
And it was second year when I started participating in hackathons. Actually, I got to know about hackathons, like what hackathons are and why should someone participate in them.
Yep.
So my first hackathon experience was really good since so the main element in a hackathon is that you actually have to build a working product in a very short period of time.
True.
So the rapid development phase gives you a deep insight how the things are actually working in the industry.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Whenever we build something, it should not be kept aside after, let's say, building it after for 2-3 months. I believe that it should be actually used by the user. So everything we build should be built with the perspective that it has to be helpful for the people, for the society. Like even if 2 or 3 people are using what you built, it is helpful actually.
That's true. That's true. We completely agree. Yeah.
Yeah. So in most of the hackathons we participated, we tried to actually solve real world problems. Like before moving on to the solution phase, the main thing is that you have to identify the problem. A solution cannot be without a problem.
Yep. Right. So, do you think
So the
like
hackathons are
yeah. No, please continue. Yeah.
Yeah, please continue.
No, so I was asking, so in hackathons, the time period is really short. So, could you complete the project entirely, or just you could get an idea that okay, this is how I'm going to do it?
Okay. So what happens is that some are actually ideathons and not exactly hackathons, where you have to make sure that what you are going to build would actually work in future.
Okay.
Like all in and out, the scalability, part the everything like the backend working, front end working, it is actually idea. But in most of the things, it is actually complete product working. But they don't really expect you to build something like out of a really industry standard, like very high level thing. If it is basic, it is working and it is actually helpful, then it is a good product.
Yeah. Okay.
So I believe that
Yes, please continue, Naman.
actually you can solve.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am audible, right?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the thing. So I think that whenever let's say if I am working on a startup or anything, so the main thing should be that I should know the problems very well.
Okay.
Then only I will be actually give a very good solution, a working solution.
That's true.
So hackathons really help what people are expecting in the industry and how you can actually put your product in the market. If something has been made but it is not being used and it is actually a waste.
That's true. Of course.
Yeah.
Of
And okay, so apart from hackathons obviously focuses on development things. So the good thing is that you don't have to limit yourself to a particular domain like web development. Since I have actually worked on game development also, I have worked with Python also, and this is all because of the hackathons I participated in.
Yeah. So you get different
And you don't
insights.
have to be really well versed in each and every tech stack.
Hmm.
Like good things are actually available on internet, so like integration parts and all those things are very easily available.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
So I think you don't have to wait to learn a skill to the 100. You can actually start it learning on 5. And you can learn it more during the hackathon period or during the development period.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we will come to Rohit. Rohit, when did you start programming?
Okay, just suppose am I audible now?
Yeah, yeah, you are audible perfectly.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So I started programming in my first semester only. I've taken class.
Mm-hmm.
I started with basic course from Coderas. It was mostly DS focused. So for first and second semester, I did DS, reviewed my basics, and learned C++, and then the implementation of data structures and solved a few basic problems with them. In my third semester, I started to learn web development. I've taken a course from it was LTS course. I did some basic projects
Mm-hmm.
by learning concepts from that course. Then I also explored further and did some more projects in my third semester. They were mostly stack based projects. In fifth semester, I started practicing on lead code frequently
Yeah.
because we are at NSIT. There's like a good environment here. So mostly question which gets upon start the internship season. So I started preparing for my internship between fourth semester. Along with friends, I solved some problems on lead code daily.
Mm-hmm.
Platforms, but I was peer experience in contests. Um, I did contests on code processing, code chef, and I guess that's it.
Okay, okay. So, Rohit, so look, like, how did you choose a skill? Like, there are plenty of contents on internet these days, so we often get overwhelmed. So, you chose
Uh,
web development, as you said.
Okay, so it's mostly based on your interest, but I'll advise everyone to at least learn web development first because it becomes easy for you to do for things. For example, you may go on and learn ML after that, but if you want to deploy your models in machine learning in real world and you want to show those models, then you'll need some interface, some kind of interface to show those models how they're working. So first of all, I advise that everyone should start learning with web development, and after like second year, they can shift on to anything they want. To maybe machine learning, actually VR, or something else. You may also give technology a try for let's say about 20 to 30 days, and if you find it interesting, you can continue on it.
Okay, okay. And like Naman, what about you? You also chose web development at first.
Yeah. Okay. So my reason for choosing web development was actually so all of the people around me were also doing web development. So it
Okay,
was kind of a peer thing then. But then I realized that solely web development is not going to help since we are seeing that blockchain and all those ML stuff are coming. So though their integration is really important to make something big out of web development.
yeah, totally, totally. And
So, like web development itself is really easy to learn, which actually builds a strong base for learning any more high tech stack. So that's why it is like majorly preferred, as Rohit said.
like I want to know where do you started from where like Coursera or something else.
Okay. So the backend part was started I started from Udemy.
Okay.
I took the backend course from Udemy.
Mm-hmm.
It was like I guess of Jonas Whitman, as much I remember, and front end I did from YouTube only. I
Okay.
didn't refer on the course or anything.
Okay.
And later on, I started with React.js, the full one stack. So I took a React course later on, and like I already knew the remaining tech stuff, so like integration was not that of a difficult portion.
All right. All right. And what about you, Rohit? Like, where did you start?
So for web development, I started with the use tools. It gave a basic understanding of majority of the concepts. That was not enough. Like you had to dig deeper into those technologies. So I referred YouTube after that.
Hmm.
Now you can. I try to read documentation of
Okay.
some technology
Hmm.
if I want to learn.
Yeah, that's very important. We often like avoid it to read the documentation, right? Uh, yeah. So like
Yeah, actually, the documentation is actually a really good thing because like later on you won't have time to learn all the technologies. So
mhm.
you will solely be relying on the documentation and how the snippets are working.
Yeah, that's true. And both of you are in competitive coding. Uh,
Okay, so I started competitive programming earlier, but then like I didn't find it personally, I didn't find it much interesting.
mhm.
So I actually shifted to the development portion. Like competitive programming is actually a very good thing if you pursue it, but I found a little less interest in it, so I didn't like continue it later.
Okay, okay. And what about you,
Okay, so
Rohit?
that's okay. Yeah, so I did contests for 2 3 months for like improving my logic
Mhm.
and competitive programming helps in online assessments. Like if you're good at competitive programming, it will definitely be beneficial when it comes to online assessments.
Mhm.
However, I haven't like looked much further into it because yeah, it's a good thing, but sometimes it is you get the feeling it does not have a real world usage in the industry.
Yeah. Okay. And what do you think, both of you, like how much time should we dedicate to the competitive programming?
Okay, so my personal preferences for interviews and online assessments, if you are able to solve up to level C questions, up to code forces contests, then it will be enough.
Okay. Okay.
Like I guess regular contests, the live contests, which are the short ones, like 2 or 3 hours duration, they alone are actually much sufficient.
Okay.
Code forces and code share both.
Okay. And what about lead code? I mean, that's more famous for.
Okay, so like lead code is my favorite since like lead code has almost all of the DSA questions that ever existed,
Mhm.
and practicing questions on lead code is really very important because like the format which lead code gives us is actually the format the online assessment would be.
Yes,
The online
absolutely.
assessment would be much similar to the lead code contest that happens regularly.
Yes. Yes.
So I highly, very highly recommend doing lead code.
Yes. And also,
Also,
like,
lead code as a distance.
yes, yes, please,
Okay.
Rohit.
Yeah, also lead code has a distance section which is very much helpful. Like you'll not find it on Intervivit or similar platforms. Also, you can give contests on lead code. They are very much similar to the OAs you're going to receive in most of the company rounds.
Yes, yes. Also, if I'm speaking about myself, I found that curated section is really helpful. The curated problems, that section I found really helpful. Anyway, so like, what do you think? How many questions do we need to solve in a day? Like, 5, 10?
Okay, so I think it actually depends on the difficulty of the problems you are solving.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say if you are solving like medium questions, so I think that 5 to 6 questions are actually pretty much doable in a day.
Yeah. Okay.
easy and medium. So 5, 6 or even 7, 8 are pretty much doable. But if you are moving to the hard questions, then 3 or 4 are actually sufficient for others, since like the hard questions actually drains your brain a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So you might actually find it very tiring thinking very hard questions all day. So I believe that we should not focus on one difficulty of questions in a particular day, but should try from across all the difficulty levels.
Okay.
Like that is how online assessments actually are, and like focusing on one particular difficulty doesn't really make sense.
That's true. And what about you, Rohit? What do you think?
And it's number of good things that you have to do in itna to be able to catch something. It's more about building knowledge, so try to for some time
Hmm.
not make a problem. Also you have to be consistent for this, right?
Yep. Okay.
For longest if you are not consistent with this 15 questions say one day and then you put to 7 days, then it won't come much.
Yeah. Consistency is the key. Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like doing 3 questions each day is very much better than doing 10 questions in one day or not doing anything for the remaining 6 days.
That's very true. That's very true. Yes. Okay. So coming to the interview preparation and like how was the interview for Curefit and both the Sprinkler?
Okay. So I cannot really disclose the exact question, but I can just tell that how actually it was overall.
I mean, what was the process? How was the hiring process?
Yeah,
You can share it. Yeah.
sure. So the first round was like the online assessment round,
Mm-hmm.
and as much I remember, there were around 120 or 130 people in the list that I saw, which we got on the mail from the TNT.
Okay. So let me
So
ask one
after,
question.
so
I'm sorry.
only have, yeah,
Yeah, I'm interrupting. Sorry. So was it on campus
no,
only?
no, it's okay. Yeah, it was on campus.
Okay. Cool. Please go on.
Yeah. So it was on campus, and I remember that there were 2 questions in the online assessment round,
Mm-hmm.
and as much I know that all the people who did both the questions with passing all the test cases were actually shortlisted for the interview.
Okay.
So the first round of interview had around, I guess, 10 to 12 candidates,
Okay.
and so total there were 2 rounds. After the first round, there were actually only 5 left for the second round, and finally 2 were selected.
Okay.
Yeah. And okay, so the interviews primarily focused on DSA only. Like they talk about the projects, but the major part, okay, so the 90% are for DSA only.
Okay.
So I highly recommend preferring DSA over projects, since DSA would definitely be asked in the interview.
Yeah. Yep.
And yeah, okay, so one more thing. When we are talking about projects, so your projects don't necessarily have to be very high class projects. If you have built the basic projects, but you very well know them, that how you build them and why did you use the technology, then it is very beneficial. Since you can expect many cross questions from the interviewer regarding that, why did you use this particular technology and why didn't you use this one? So you should.
Hello. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, Dasha, you are.
Yeah. Sorry. So my internet got snapped. Sorry. Really sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please continue, Naman.
Yeah, so like I was talking that the projects are important to the extent that if you can really well explain them, that how did you build them and why did you choose the technologies behind them, then it's perfectly fine. But the cross questions can be expected from every domain, that are obviously within a project. So you should not be building more projects and not really having idea that why did you build it or what was it built on. So I recommend building some good, very less number of projects, but knowing them very well.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So like preparing a to-do app that won't help, right? So like a moderate
Oh
quality.
no. Okay, so like to do application can definitely work if it not only if it has some more features. Let's say like the to-do thing is obviously very common, but if you have some innovative thing that has been appended to the application, then it is really beneficial.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Like if you let's say if you integrate a good recommendation system thing,
Hmm.
so that you actually don't have to type out all the things manually, but it can actually give you recommendations that if you have to do something like a workout or meditation. So
Hmm.
these are very common things. So if you can actually add them directly without having to typing them, then it is a really good thing. Like this is one of the features I was talking about. So such good features can be integrated in very small applications,
Hmm.
which would actually increase their reliability much more.
I agree. Totally agree. Yes. Yes. So, Rohit, what about you? Like, how was the interview process and the entire hiring process actually?
So this internship opportunity was an on-campus opportunity.
Huh.
We first had online assessment. It consisted of 3 questions, and they were mostly competitive programming level questions. Right. So the shortlisting was majorly based on CGPA
Okay.
and the number of questions a person had solved. So just one thing I want to mention: if you are preparing for on-campus opportunities, you do focus on maintaining a good GPA because it really helps a lot in your internship season, because many companies are gonna shortlist just only on the basis of your CGPA. In case the questions they have given online assessment are quite easy, right?
Hmm.
So after that, after OA, they shortlisted like about 70 to 80 people, and then we had 4 rounds of interviews. 3 were technical rounds, and one was HR round. So I won't be disclosing the questions of the technical rounds, but they were mostly based on data structure, hooks, and there was a puzzle also. They did talk about they did talk about the projects I had mentioned on my resume. So just one thing I want to add: don't add anything on your resume which you are not sure about. Like if you won't be able to answer questions related to that thing on CV, then it will definitely give a bad impression
Hmm.
to the interviewer. To only add those things which you are very much comfortable about, and you can answer all the cross questions that the interviewer is gonna ask you.
Yes. Yes. That's right.
Okay, so for HR town, it was mostly an easy one. It had like those cliche questions like, why do you want to join this company? What is your strength and weaknesses? So these are fairly common questions, and you can definitely prepare for them by uh, referring to the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so anything else you wanna ask?
Okay. And okay, so both the internships will, I mean, both of you will get PPOs, right?
Actually, so okay, we are not sure about that.
Acha,
Like it actually depends on the performance
performance.
during the
Okay.
internship, and it has not started yet.
Okay, okay, all right, all right. So, and also one more thing. So, in my case, जितनी भी इंटरव्यूज मैंने दिया है तो उसमें क्या हुआ था कि दे आस्क मी अबाउट अ पर्टिकुलर सब्जेक्ट फ्रॉम माई कोर्स वर्क जैसे कि ऑटोमाटा या फिर
Yeah.
कंप्यूटर आर्किटेक्चर सो दे आस्क मी टू टेल मी कि ऐसे एक सब्जेक्ट बताओ जिसमें तुम्हारा थोड़ा बहुत नॉलेज है एंड आई विल आस्क द क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम दैट सब्जेक्ट ओनली तो अपार्ट फ्रॉम डेटा स्ट्रक्चर्स
Okay.
एंड ऑल सो ऐसा कुछ हुआ था क्या?
ओके, सो ऐसा मैंने सुना था कि ऐसा लोगों से पूछा था बाकी कंपनीज में, लाइक पर्टिकुलरली मेरे केस में ऐसा नहीं हुआ था, पर लाइक जो बाकी कंपनीज विजिट करी थी तो उसमें काफी दोस्तों से बात हुई थी, तो दे सेड कि हाँ उन्होंने ऐसा पूछा था कि लाइक which subjects you are having in your like BTech curriculum, and when they name the subjects, so they asked questions from them. But I guess they were like, so if you have actually read your subjects and know basic things only, then also you would be able to answer them. Like they are not really difficult questions.
Okay, okay. And what about you, Rohit?
ओके, सो बेसिकली 3 सब्जेक्ट्स जो है, जो ओएस, डीबीएमएस, सूप्स, तो ये तो लाइक एवरीवन शुड प्रिपेयर, क्योंकि इसमें से दे एक्चुअली आस्क दोस क्वेश्चंस. बाकी चॉइस का ऑनेस्टली मैंने नहीं सुना था कि एकदम चॉइस ही दे दी कि इसमें से आप चूज करके बता दो, हम इसमें से क्वेश्चन पूछेंगे. बट स्टिल अगर ऐसा डेफिनेटली प्रिपेयर करता हूँ ओएस, डीबीएमएस और थोड़ा बहुत कंप्यूटर नेटवर्क्स भी.
Okay, yeah, that's it. I agree. And okay, so that's it from my end. And like, what advice do you have for the upcoming students who will sit for the tech interviews?
So I have like prepared some points that I would like to share. Okay, so like first thing is कि like interview शुरू होते ही एक वो तुमसे बोलेंगे कि अपना इंट्रोडक्शन दो. सो आई रिकमेंड कि एक अच्छा सा शॉर्ट इंफॉर्मेटिव इंट्रोडक्शन अपना पहले से प्रिपेयर करके रख लेना, एंड उसमें नेसेसरी डिटेल्स ऐड कर लेना. सो मेक श्योर कि वो बहुत ज्यादा लंबा ना हो, लाइक दे आर नॉट रियली इंटरेस्टेड बट दे वांट टू मेक यू कंफर्टेबल, एंड ट्राई टू मेक इट क्रिस्प, और उसमें सब कुछ जितना इंफॉर्मेशन हो सके वो ऐड करने की ट्राई करना. सेकेंड थिंग इज दैट ऐसा हो सकता है लाइक थोड़ा पैनिक हो जाए कि क्वेश्चन नहीं आ रहा समझ या कुछ हो रहा है. सो लाइक जस्ट कीप काम एंड डोंट हरी विद योर वर्ड्स. लाइक थोड़ा सोचो और उसके बाद यू कैन आंसर. मींस ऐसे कोई हरी नहीं है, दैट यू हैव इनफ टाइम. सो बी कंफर्टेबल विद द इंटरव्यूअर एंड आंसर्स थोड़ा सोच समझ के और आराम से करो. अनदर थिंग इज दैट लाइक जो भी क्वेश्चंस दे आर आस्किंग यू ना, तो उसके रिगार्डिंग सारे डाउट्स पहले ही क्लियर करके रख लो आपने. मतलब इट इज लाइक काफी बार मैंने सुना है, होता भी है कि लाइक क्वेश्चन कुछ और होता है और थोड़ा सा शायद गलत समझ लेते हैं. तो उसे प्रिवेंट करने के लिए जस्ट रिपीट द क्वेश्चन, होल क्वेश्चन जो कि तुम्हें समझ आया है, एंड वेरीफाई दैट इज इट एक्चुअली द क्वेश्चन दैट यू आर आस्किंग. और उस क्वेश्चन के रिगार्डिंग सारे कंस्ट्रेंट्स एंड सब कुछ पहले ही क्लियर करके चलो, सो दैट ऐसा होता है कई बार कि लाइक तुमने कुछ इम्प्लीमेंट किया और वो कुछ कॉर्नर केस तुम्हें देगा. सो इफ यू हैव नॉट already included the corner case, तो वो थोड़ा सा फिर bad impression रहता है कि like you assume the things yourself and you didn't ask the interviewer.
Yeah, that's a very common mistake, I think. Yeah. Okay,
so one more is that like ऐसा हो सकता है कि जो वो क्वेश्चन पूछा वो तुमने पहले से कर रखा हो, तो अगर करा हुआ है ना तभी भी मतलब एकदम से जंप मत करना एकदम से बेस्ट सॉल्यूशन पे, उनको थोड़ा सा वेस्ट लेके चलना. लाइक अगर इफ यू शो देम ना कि यू हैव ऑलरेडी डन द क्वेश्चन, तो इट गिव्स यू लाइक तुमने मदद कर रखी है, नॉट रियली अंडरस्टैंडिंग, और वो हो सकता है क्वेश्चन भी चेंज कर दें. तो इसलिए ट्राई कि उस क्वेश्चन के थोड़े वर्स्ट सॉल्यूशन से शुरू करना, वर्स्ट टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी, स्पेस कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी, फिर उसको इंप्रूव करते हुए चलना आगे तक. So like this is one of the very common things that people really advise. Like this is what my senior advised me, and it actually worked.
Okay. Yeah, and Rohit.
Okay, so Naman, like इंटरव्यू के टाइम के लिए एडवाइस है, तो प्रिपरेशन के लिए थोड़ी सी बहुत उस पे आऊंगा. एक तो ट्राई करो अपना पीयर ग्रुप में थोड़ा अच्छा रख लो, और लाइक डिस्कशन वगैरह उनके साथ रोज करते रहो, क्वेश्चंस वगैरह, तो हेल्प होती है. बिकॉज थोड़ा लंबा प्रोसेस होता है, और विल नीड की सम मोटिवेशन वगैरह जो पुश फैक्टर चाहिए होता है, तो वो तुम्हें हेल्प करेगा. देन सेकंड प्लेस की मॉक इंटरव्यूज जरूर देना, दे एक्चुअली हेल्प इट लॉट। अपने दोस्तों को दे दो, अगर नहीं हो सकता तो कई प्लेटफॉर्म्स हैं इंटरनेट पे, आई गेस फ्री में तुम मॉक इंटरव्यूज दे सकते हो। एक दो और थे, इंटरनेट पे सर्च कर लेना, अभी मेरे को नाम नहीं याद आ रहा, तो उन पे तुम यूज कर लेना। बाकी थर्ड वन इसकी कंसिस्टेंसी बनाए रखो। और फोर्थ, जो इंटरव्यू के अंदर ना ये जरूर ट्राई करना, जब भी तुम एक्सप्लेन कर रहे हो ना, तो ऐसा मत करना कि तुम बहुत ज्यादा पॉज ले रहे हो, बहुत ज्यादा सोचने का टाइम ले रहे हो और उसमें बता रहे हो। थोड़ा थोड़ा सोचते सोचते जो तुम्हारे दिमाग में अप्रोच आएगा, ट्राई कि उसको बनाना शुरू कर दो। बिकॉज कई बार ना तुम गलत जा रहे होगे अप्रोच में, और ये तुम्हें बहुत बाद में पता चले, उससे बढ़िया कि इंटरव्यू पहले ही तुम्हें थोड़ा बहुत उस टाइम पे हिंट दे दे, तो वो थोड़ा अच्छा रह जाता है। लाइक अदरवाइज, क्योंकि उनके पास एक फिक्स टाइम होता है 45 टू 50 मिनट्स का, और अगर तुमने बहुत एकदम शांत बैठ रहे हो, बात में जस्ट अप्रोच बताइए, वो गलत निकलती है, तो उनके पास और टाइम नहीं होगा कि वो दूसरा क्वेश्चन दे सकते हैं, दे दे, या फिर तुम्हें थोड़ा बहुत हिंट वगैरह दे दे, जिससे कि तुम राइट अप्रोच पे पहुंच जाओ।
Okay, okay, understandable, and like I totally agree. Yes. Okay, so anyone from the
Okay, and
yes, yes, Naman, please.
more thing, if I could add.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So ट्राई करने की अगर पीयर प्रोग्रामिंग अगर करता हूँ, लाइक जब मैंने डीएसए की प्रिपरेशन शुरू करी थी पर्टिकुलरली इंटर्नशिप के लिए, तो लाइक मैं अपने एक फ्रेंड के साथ ही करता था, तो हम डेली बेसिस पे लीड कोड के वर्चुअल कॉन्टेस्ट देते थे एंड इंटरव्यू भी हम लाइक पैरेलल कर रहे थे काफी। तो लाइक इससे क्या होता है कि यू गेट मोटिवेटेड फ्रॉम योर फ्रेंड एंड वो तुमसे मोटिवेट होगा, तो लाइक साथ में काफी ज्यादा नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चंस हो जाता है रिलेटिवली। अगर तुम अकेले करने जाओगे तो उसके रिलेटिवली तो डेफिनेटली काफी बेटर होता है।
Yeah.
प्लस लाइक एट द एंड ऑफ द डे जो भी तुमने साथ में क्वेश्चंस किए, you can discuss कि like अगर तुमसे कुछ नहीं हुआ तो he would tell, और उससे कुछ नहीं हुआ तो you can share your approach. So like this is really important. Like this is I feel is very important thing during preparation. And another thing is कि जब you are explaining your approach to the interviewer ना, तो please शांत पहले रोहित ने बोला कि अगर तुम हो सकता है गलत जा रहे हो, तो ही वुड पॉइंट आउट कि यहाँ पे तुम थोड़े गलत चले गए, यू कैन करेक्ट योर अप्रोच। सो ट्राई टू बी एज इंटरेक्टिव एज यू कैन ड्यूरिंग द होल इंटरव्यू।
That's true. Yeah. Okay. So anyone from the audience, if you have any questions for Rohit and Naman, you can ask.
Hello. So like I wanted to ask, like how did you manage the development part and CP part?
ओके, सो यार मैंने ये दोनों ही ना अलग टाइम फ्रेम में करे थे। मीन सीपी मैंने पर्टिकुलरली फर्स्ट और सेकंड सेमेस्टर में किया था एंड डेवलपमेंट मैंने बाद में करी थी। तो लाइक क्लासिंग का सीन नहीं था, पर डेफिनेटली यू कैन मैनेज, यू कैन ट्राई कि सीपी के तुम अगर रेगुलर कॉन्टेस्ट भी दे रहे हो, लाइक वो बहुत ज्यादा फ्रीक्वेंट नहीं होते, तो हफ्ते में 3 कॉन्टेस्ट भी दे रहे हो या 4 भी दे रहे हो, तो दैट इज इनफ। एंड डेवलपमेंट अगर तुम डेली बेसिस पे ऐसे कि 2 या 3 घंटे भी कर रहे हो, तो भी लाइक अच्छे पेज पे खत्म हो सकती है।
Okay, yeah.
यार और ना लाइक जैसे हमारे पास तो लाइक किया था, बाकी साथ साथ में तुम लाइक टाइम डिवाइड करके इसको कर सकते हो कि इतनी देर लाइक डीएसए के लिए 1 या 2 क्वेश्चन डेली के, जैसे लीड कोड का डेली चैलेंज आता है वो दे दिया, या फिर कभी हफ्ते में एक आधी बार कॉन्टेस्ट साथ में दे दिए।
और ये जो प्रॉब्लम की शीट सर्कुलेट होती है यूट्यूबर से और नेट पे, वो कितनी रिलायबल होती है?
यार ऑनेस्टली अच्छा,
हाँ नहीं, बोल।
ऑनेस्टली मैंने सॉल्व तो नहीं की उस टाइम उतनी, आई गेस तक बिकॉज अल्टीमेटली तुम ठीक ही होंगी।
देखो मैंने भी पर्सनली फॉलो तो नहीं करी, पर हाँ आई नो कि मतलब काफी जगह से ये होती है वो। मीन्स मैंने शीट को ना देखते हुए जब क्वेश्चंस की प्रैक्टिस कर ली थी, तो शीट में जब मैंने देखा तो लाइक काफी हद तक सेम ही क्वेश्चंस थे, लाइक दे आर नॉट मच डिफरेंट। सो शीट एक अच्छी सी शीट जैसे ब्लॉग ओवर की हो गई, तो वो तुम रेफर कर सकते हो, मतलब उसमें काफी ज्यादा रेलिवेंट क्वेश्चंस ही हैं, तो उससे सही प्रैक्टिस हो जाती है।
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so anyone wants to ask any more questions? Okay, all right then. Okay, thank you Rohit and Naman for joining us today. It was really great session. Thank you so much. I hope you guys also enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you, Thiaja. Thank you so much for having us on board, and like it was really a good experience.
Yeah, thank you, same here. Thank you so much, and thank you all the people who have joined to listen to Naman and Rohit. Thank you so much. Okay,
Yeah,
so
thank you.
yeah,
Adam, also thanks to Adam, जिसने like gave us the opportunity.
yes, bye. Okay,
So, okay.
okay,
Goodbye, everyone. Have a nice day.
yeah, thank you. Okay,
Goodbye,
bye,
goodbye. Yeah.
bye,
Thank you.
bye, bye.